Is, wait, let me check the official roster real quick. Hello, Twitch chat. Welcome. All right, are we good on volume? Okay, welcome Twitch chat to another Sunday night special. It is not football, but we do have League of Legends here on Avid Gaming Esports. I am going to be your shoutcaster, Nikolai, for the game, joined by none other than the top lane man himself, the beautiful Complex. Complex, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing really good, just got out of casting the Mod Squad game, and I'm ready for some more action.
Well, we are definitely excited for this one as we are going to be getting our second game of the night as we get LOTD, Luck of the Draw versus Frankenbeans. And Luck of the Draw really would like to get a win here, move them up to 5-2, especially as we get to the last two games before playoffs. Frankenbeans right now sitting at 1-5. Pre-analysis of both teams, Complex, what do you like about both teams and what do you dislike about both teams?
So what I really like about Frankenbeans is the top jungle synergy that they do have with Axiom and Apexium. I think both of them are really good players, and I really want to see them pull off a carry performance in this game. Luck of the Draw is a very strong team, but I think if now is the best time for them, it's now or never kind of thing. It's the best time for them to pop off and show what they can really do. And looking at Luck of the Draw, I mean, Dankim's kind of been the story on this team with Matt Red in the jungle. Both of them have been pulling off crazy plays and carrying games. And, we have JT Ripper filling in for Shiro. So we'll see what JT can do with Dankim.
Yeah, definitely too. So, and I do believe that with the win, Luck of the Draw do end up moving a little bit closer towards that top spot, like we kind of mentioned earlier too, as we get closer into the playoffs. So we will be eyeing to see Luck of the Draw too, because they did win last week, I believe.
Yes.
They did win last week.
Yes, I believe they lost last week. I believe
all
three of the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that was
RDT RDT ended up getting them the win. Alrighty, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so looking at these two teams.
Yeah. So yeah, Luck of the Draw did get that upset loss last week because we did forget about that. That was upset week, actually. That was the week of the upsets.
Yeah. A lot of the top teams were dropping games that week, but here's the important thing today. Luck of the Draw, now they are favored to win this one against Frankenbeans. So if they get this win right now, that will put them tied for first with RDT, Rubber Ducky team, and I believe Luck of the Draw does have the head-to-head win against them. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that would put Luck of the Draw in the first seed heading into playoffs, and all they'd have to do is win their last game to secure it.
Right now they are 4-2, so they would actually be tied with Mailbox's Angels, who sit at 5-2. Rubber Ducky team has 6 wins.
Okay, so then that means they would be okay. Yeah, Luck of the Draw is one game behind right now, I do believe, from Rubber Ducky team. So they gotta win out if they want to secure the first seed. But if they do end up going into a tie heading into that last week with the Rubber Ducky team, they do have the head-to-head record.
Well, remember, Mailbox's Angels does play Rubber Ducky team this week. So it could be a tiebreaker between Mailbox's Angels and Luck of the Draw. So Luck of the Draw maybe already looking past this game and trying to root for a good win for Mailbox's Angels to kind of get them into that at least the first or second seed. Because if they end up winning out the final two games after tonight, if they do win, they are in fact in the driver's seat for at least top 2.
Yeah, and also looking at it, I mean, we got Mailbox Angels and Natural Big Boys Club still in the running for this. Natural Big Boys Club is 5-3, Mailbox Angels 5-2, and in the head-to-head there, Natural Big Boys Club does have the win over Mailbox's Angels. So if Rubber Ducky team starts dropping games down the stretch and MBBC can clean up their act, they could potentially take that first seed with wins over both Mailbox Angels and Luck of the Draw. So, I mean, it's really coming down to the wire here with these top 4 teams right now, seeing who might be able to take it. And you got teams like On the Spot and Lamar Jackson Fan Club and now Big Schmeat Gang. All 3 of them, I mean, they're just a win behind. They're trying to fight into this. A loss here today for Luck of the Draw puts them in that running with those other teams. So I mean, every win here now counts.
Right, and especially, I mean, our 1 through 8 teams are all fighting for it. Even Beta Carry Fan Club, who unfortunately did lose yesterday, they're still in the running for that 6th seed. I mean, because Lamar Jackson Fan Club took that heavy loss today or yesterday. NBBC took another heavy loss, their 3rd in a row that they lost after kind of starting out undefeated. So, yeah, playoffs are going to be really interesting too. Weaknesses, though, I don't think we ever got to that point yet. As we're getting ready for Pro Draft still. No, Pro Draft did actually happen too while we were discussing playoff scenarios. Early pickup of the Swain.
Hold on, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that. Okay. Any weaknesses, though, that each team can attack, though?
So the notorious weakness that we've seen from Frank and Beans is they've had a lot of subs come through and fill in different positions throughout the season. So we haven't seen them be able to build a ton of synergy with their bot lane. So right now we're seeing Drought and Jan come in here for Frank and Beans. I don't know if they're subbing on the main roster. I believe Drought is on the main roster, and I believe Jan is as well. But we haven't seen a whole lot of performances from these guys yet. So I really want to see them pop off with something here, but I'm looking at that bot lane to attack if I'm Luck of the Draw. And on the side of Luck of the Draw, I mean, in their few losses, we've seen it kind of happen through them just kind of getting out-tempoed and outpaced on these objectives, you know, pushing the tempo early, getting some early kills, and taking early objectives, snowballing off it. So they are a very strong team fight team, but if you can start, you know, looking for these early aggressive plays, be a little bit creative, like you can definitely take them down through making those kind of plays. Alrighty.
I was going to talk about playoffs if you just a little bit more. So
yeah,
so kind of going further into playoffs, I think. What have you seen this past few weeks? Because it's kind of been ever since a lot of these teams started updating their roster. You know, we had the big move with LP Bandito going from RDT to Mailboxes Angels. We've had a few different supports, I think, coming out for NBBC as well too. They did try Complex out in the bot lane too, which I think they're still trying to find a newer identity with their drafts too. A lot of rosters have kind of been using substitutes as well too, and taking the risk of the bans and site selections too. How is that going to affect it come playoffs too, when we have full rosters and once all these teams do find an identity, you know, in 2 short weeks almost?
Yeah, coming into playoffs, I mean, there are a few questions that I think will be asked by teams, you know, figuring out like, are subs going to be, like, emergency subs, are they going to be allowed in playoffs and things like that? Because, I mean, they can completely change the prep going into games, but I really want to see the teams that are struggling kind of figure out their pace, and the teams that are winning just have to keep pushing the note, keep improving upon their own play. We are seeing it coming down the stretch. I mean, you're seeing MBBC dropping games. Luck of the Draw has been dropping games. And you're seeing teams like Big Schmeat Gang, Lamar Jackson Fan Club, Mailbox Angels all coming up through the rankings. And RDT has been fairly stable throughout the whole year. I believe they lost their first game and they lost somewhat recently. But, I mean, they've been playing very consistent. They've been bouncing back from their losses. So RDT is definitely looking like the favorite coming out of the remaining teams fighting for that first seed.
Is there a team that is there one specific team that, if you're looking at the top possible 6 teams, it doesn't matter which teams you believe are going to be going in or out, which team are you most afraid of? If you're looking at it from a third party standpoint versus which team, if you're, let's say, a top seed, are you kind of looking at and going, we know we're going to be able to pick them and because we can beat them in a best of 3, best of 5 setting?
Honestly, I think the strongest team, the team that I would be most concerned about, I mean, it's kind of a toss-up between RDT. I mean, they play very consistent, very stable, but I'm looking at Big Schmeat Gang, honestly. They've been impressing and they've been improving significantly over these past few weeks. Even though they did drop the game to RDT, they showed a lot of promise in that game. They had a huge 5,000 gold lead. and ended up just getting beaten team fights, not having the best team comp to deal with 4 engaged champions and a very fed Jhin. So if Big Schmeat Gang keeps doing what they're doing, keeps improving, keeps doing their grind, I mean, they could be the strongest team.
That is okay. As we're going to be going into the draft here, so we'll be waiting to see what they want to pick. What do you expect for bans here in the first stage of the early draft?
So I would like to see a Zac ban come out. I would like to see an Aatrox ban come out, and I would like to see a Kled ban come out from the side of BSG, targeting the top and jungle duo. Apexium's main jungler is the Zac. Oh, and looking like there was an issue with a no ban. That could be because of a sub situation.
Yeah.
And we are seeing the Vayne now get banned away. So targeting some of Dinkim's picks. I like seeing that from Frankenbeans. I believe that their weaker side is their bottom lane. So, I mean, it makes all the sense to try to throw some target bans at that bot lane. But I would like to see them throw some bans at who they think the weaker player is. Try to get a winning matchup there and try to snowball through that side of the map.
But we did see the Vayne go 0-3 yesterday. Gran Tesoro brought it out, Zero Kills brought it out, and then I believe the last game of the day, I forgot who played last yesterday, but I mean, Vayne just went 0-3 yesterday, and is this the first game that we're actually going to be seeing, pre-ban? I mean, would it have been a good ban? I think Vayne is not that strong, especially in team environments, because of the fact that the games have gone 25 minutes.
I think you can argue that for every team except for Luck of the Draw, because I think mechanically Dinkim is the best bottom laner in the league. I don't think there's anybody that even comes close. Look, One Above is good, and Zero Kills for you. He's pretty. I mean, he's okay. He's good too, I guess. But Dinkim is just mechanically the best bot laner. I think he's the only one who can reliably pull off a Vayne bot lane because it requires a lot of good ADC mechanics. And seeing the rest of the bans come out, we do see the Nunu and the Ezreal end up getting banned. So, we're seeing the Darius. It is Darius into Volibear.
Now, I want to look at the other ban, because is Ezreal worth a ban in this situation? Or is this kind of like, we don't know who to ban at this point? Because I'm honestly sure that there are better AD carries to ban, especially against the likes of Dinkim and a good support with JT Ripper.
Yeah, I don't believe Dinkim, if you look at his ADC pool, like, he can play pretty much any ADC well. Ezreal is one of the champions that, I mean, he mains. Like, that's one of his main 2 champions. That and Lucian, his highest 2 masteries. So I would say it does make sense to go for that ban. Seeing the rest of the picks do come out, though, we see on the side of Frankenbeans, we see the Darius, we see Talia, and we see Nico. And on the side of Luck of the Draw, we see the Volibear, staple top lane pick from Axbane. We see the Olaf from Matt Red, Olaf being a dominant jungler in this league right now. And we see Diana in the mid lane. So if I'm just looking at the draft right now, while I really like Frankenbeans' draft, Luck of the Draw has definitely got the power picks right now. Oh, and Drought, we're going to see his Jhin. Tristana from Dinkim.
I do like to see that matchup too. I think they really traded the both strong AD carries too. And we talked about kind of a little bit the power picks, but on the side for Frankenbeans, they don't have, a slouch of a composition. You have a Nico Talia. Talia can wall them off with the Leona Nico combo, and then you just have Darius Jhin just able to deal massive amount of burst damage. But you have a lot of early game potential on the side of Luck of the Draw. So execution wise, who do you give the favor to?
I've seen Luck of the Draw execute better than Frankenbeans, but if I was looking at this a purely matchup standpoint, not knowing who the players are, I think this is a dangerous comp for Luck of the Draw to go into. Just because, so Darius has a lot of hyper carry potential if he gets fed. Now, Volibear is a pretty favorable matchup for Volibear, but Darius does have ways to outplay it. I'd say it's like a 52-48 in favor of the Volibear. But Talia is strong into Olaf. Now, when Olaf ults, Talia can't knock him back. But what Talia does have is AP damage and can blow Olaf up for trying to run through and trying to get onto her. So AP junglers tend to be the best into Olaf, and seeing the Nico, which can set up really well in team fights, especially against Diana. I mean,
because Diana, Olaf, and Volibear all want to go in along with Tristana. We do want to see if Dankin can reset the position. So is this kind of a trap game for Luck of the Draw?
it's very possible. Here's the important thing to note. Darius's biggest weaknesses is kiting, and the only champion on the side of Luck of the Draw that can reliably kite Darius is the Tristana. It's the only champion that can do it. And if Tristana jumps and Darius times his pull properly to pull after the jump animation goes, like when she's in the air, he can pull her back in. It's the same thing like a Thresh Flay. It works both ways. Either if you pull too soon when she jumps, she'll jump out. If you pull a little later when she's mid-air, you'll pull her back in. So if Axiom knows how to time this properly, which I think he might, because he does have a lot of mastery on the Darius, I think we can see him pull off some crazy stuff here.
Definitely too. And we talked about, the kiting potential just coming out from just Dankim alone too. Is the Talia wall also dangerous against his comp? Because what are you going to do? You're going to blow a couple flashes, the Volibear ultimate going backwards too. And we do see the cleanse, as we see here in the early parts of the draft, the cleanse will be taken from Dankim. But there's a lot of CC though, so how are you going to cleanse it properly when you have Leona ultimate coming down, when you have the Nico ultimate, when you have a stun coming out from the Deadly Flourish from Drown? I think this is a game where all eyes are going to be on Dankim and trying to see how he positions, because if he mispositions and he doesn't have cleanse, it could be a game over.
Yeah, I mean, look, Dankim's Tristana, I haven't seen it be played, to be honest with you. But I've seen Dankim play ADC, and I see him time things like proper, CC cleanse. I've seen him time a lot of things properly and do it right. I think if anybody's going to be able to do it, it could be him. The important thing to note is after cleansing, you do have, I believe, a 60% tenacity resistance. So even if you do get chain CC'd, it's not going to be for very long. But when you're a Tristana, you don't need to be CC'd for very long to get killed for how squishy you are.
Right. So, and especially if the Darius is able to at least get 3 to 4 stacks on his passive, and that can be dangerous.
Darius doesn't even need 4 stacks to go for the kill onto Tristana. If Darius does it right, he E auto WQs, he can look to R if he's fed. At that point, he would have done over half of Tristana's health bar and damage at least.
Definitely.
That is the dangers of the Darius pick here. Darius is extremely strong, and there's a lot of champions here that Darius can look to get his ultimate off of. Olaf, Diana, Tristana, and Swain, all of those champions, especially Olaf and his ultimate, Darius can blow up very quickly. The only thing that's a little dangerous here is the Volibear.
Definitely, too, as we're going to be loading up onto Summoner's Rift shortly, so stick around for a quick pause as we're going to go ahead and get everything ready to go for our final game of the Sunday night doubleheader as we get LOTD, Luck of the Draw, versus FNB, Frankenbeans.
Yes.
Yep. Are we pausing at 5? Okay.
Yep. I'm good.
We're good. All right, we are now loading onto Summoner's Rift here. Final game of Sunday night. All the football games are almost done. I think the Steelers and the Browns are playing. But if you're not a fan of football, but you're a fan of some sports, you have esports here. So let's have a fun game here. As you know, we do see Frankenbeans looking to pull off another big upset too. We've had a lot of upsets the past few weeks.
Yeah, there's been quite a few. I mean, coming down the stretch, all the teams are turning on the heat, and some of the top teams maybe getting a little bit complacent, not putting in enough practice, and these bottom teams are coming up through the ranking. So I'd like to see them, turn up the heat and show why they are at the top. So looking at how they're playing right now, we do see a three-man stack on this bottom side of the map. Just trying to probably be there in case of any kind of dive that does come. They can maybe try to burst somebody. Look like we're not going to see any action come out early.
Definitely too. Any fun games that you liked watching this weekend? It's going to be probably a slow early game unless something happens level 2. But did you enjoy any of the games from Saturday that you watched?
It was another week of ABG. I mean, every game's fun to watch, but honestly, I was more excited about the Mod Squad game personally. I'm a personal fan of the Mod Squad. I like seeing what they can do. And looking at the junglers pathing here, Olaf starting on the red, Talia starting on the blue. So both junglers are going to be pathing towards this top side most likely, and we might see a fight on this top side scuttle.
Definitely too. Who wins the early fight though? As we're going to see an early Swain pull not do that much damage. Leona is tanky. But who wins the early fight between Apexium and Matt Red if they do meet on the top side of the scuttle?
I mean, it is an early game Olaf. Olaf does a ton of damage, but he won't have his ultimate. So Talia can zone off properly and do a lot of burst damage. So if I had to give it to anybody, I'd have to give it to Apexium.
We're going to see an early pull real quick. I'm going to have to kind of stop you. The flash does come out from the Bully Bear as Adarius just popped the ghost. Is the Pasta going to kill here too? May not. And he's going to flash into Conqueror stack. Is he going to be dead? Yes, the first blood over to Axiom for the easy level 2 kill. The Jhin does get pulled in, but he'll be fine. He doesn't blow any summoners. Just going to pop his potion.
Yeah, and that's the dangers of trying to, get a little bit aggressive in the lane early against Darius. While Volibear is a very strong early game champion in lane, if Darius gets a couple stacks on you and you don't respect it, he will kill you. That's why you always make sure you take control of lane and get the early level 2 over him.
Good dodge by the Jhin there, too. We do know that a Swain is JT's best pick, too, as we do see a fight here in the early top side of the map as the Olaf is just
fight you were talking
and
about.
That's a fight. That's going to be another kill of Axia or Apexium as they get the second kill of the game. You talked about it earlier, and there's the level 3 aggression coming out from Apexium.
Yeah, Olaf doesn't have ultimate, so he ends up getting pushed away. Talia does a lot of burst damage. You got to respect it, and Talia getting the kill. I mean, like I called it, AP junglers are the bane of Olaf's existence.
And we've been seeing a lot of the top-ranked junglers. We've been seeing Mailbox or Evil Mailbox. We've been seeing, I'm going to have to interrupt that real quick again, too. Another combo. This Swain is doing really good. They just can't kill him yet because he does have the heal still. But you were referring back to the AP junglers, and that's going to be Inferno 92 getting the kill onto Integrate, and that's 3 kills now all across the lanes. They're all solo kills.
This is exactly what you need if you're Frankenbeans. You need to get these early kills, and they need to be able to push this tempo now. They have to make sure that they keep accelerating. They don't take their foot off the pedal here. That's the only way you're going to be able to take down Luck of the Draw here. If you get complacent and let them scale, they are a very strong teamfight team.
Are you surprised of the early aggression that's coming on? I mean, we just saw back three straight solo kills. Jhin does miss the cannon. I love how I love how we're talking about that, but let's talk about the fact that 80 carries miss cannons a lot in this game.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate epidemic in this league, and hopefully they can get some good challenger level coaching to learn how to not miss cannons. Now,
but he's not down that much CS though. So I mean, do you call that a win for Frankenbeans, especially going up against the like of JT and Dankum?
Honestly, all they got to do is get through this lane alive and hopefully be somewhat close. If they're at least within 1,000 gold combined in this bot lane, I think that they've done their job against Dankum. But, I mean, meanwhile, on the other side of the map, I mean, Darius has the first kill. Talia has the first kill. Nico has the first kill. And that's exactly what you need if you're Frankenbeans. They're doing exactly what I had mentioned before. They need to push this early aggression. Now, Olaf does end up getting the dragon because it's an Olaf. He's going to dragon stack early.
Now, the first Infernal honestly isn't going to be a make or break here, too. So, as we do end up seeing Cloud Drake being the second one of the game, so the big question is, no kill pressure yet. I'm surprised that the Tristana doesn't jump in on those poles. Is it just because of the fact that Leona is nearby and can just easily CC and destroy most of the combo?
I believe so. I believe with Tristana, you really don't want to jump in aggressively like that. You kind of want to follow up with your damage and jump in when it's to secure the kill when you would get that reset. If you jump in a little too early into Leona, Leona will CC chain you, and it could very well turn very quickly to the other side.
This top lane matchup is so... He's up 30 CS at 6 minutes already, and that's just going to be a deadly flourish block to not get cannon, so that wasn't him missing it, and JT just has so much pressure they can block the cannon. So we're seeing CS leads across the board for everybody else except for bot lane, but I don't think you care too much if you're Frankenbeans right now, because your stronger laners are winning.
Yeah, like I said, Frankenbeans' win condition is this top jungle mid. They need to make sure that they win this top side of the map, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. Darius getting that first kill onto the Volibear puts all that pressure onto Volibear to play very far back, as Darius does land a pull E auto W combo.
But he should be able to get out pretty nicely, too. Olaf should be getting the blue, but no, he's actually not going for that invade.
Yeah, a little bit surprising there.
He had Integrate nearby, and I'm surprised he didn't go for that invade. He could have easily taken the blue, but he's just going to go over to his Raptor camp.
Maybe not the best jungle tracking, not understanding that Talia would be topside here while he was on the bottom side of the map. So Darius, I mean, he's playing very aggressive, very up in this lane, and Olaf's not here to punish. I would like to see Olaf try to put some pressure in this top lane, try to help out Axebane here so he can get some CS. I mean, he's 23 CS down right now, and Darius has the early kill. So, I mean, Darius is the driver right now. He's going to let this wave push out, and he's probably going to look to try to solo kill Volibear when he overextends.
We do see both Noon Quivers coming out for both Jhin and Tristana. So, if you're I'm assuming that Gale Force is the bigger buy as someone who does play AD carry. So, Gale Force is not going to be a bad build for this Jhin this game. I think it's actually really useful. The question is, what is Tristana going to be building with this Noon Quiver? Is it going to be the Shield Bow, the Kraken Slayer? Because generally speaking, you don't really see Gale Force on her because she's either going to be bursting you out or looking for long sustained team fights. So is this going to be just a... as we're going to see another fight here. The Ghost does get popped on the bot side too. Dankim does have to escape with the W, but the ultimate has to be used as the pole does come back in. The Volibear has to
be another kill. Too. Darius gets the dunk.
Another kill too, but no!
Beautiful kill!
He messed up.
He should bleed.
But here's the Leona coming in back onto the Swain. Swain's only level 5, while Jhin is level 6 too. Does miss the Deadly Flourish. Oh, but there's no teleport on Axebane. He can't recall, or he does have Olaf on the top side, but you can't... Oh my... But he also has a Pexium top side.
Yeah, Talia really needs to start getting here really quickly. Oh, Darius is just going to go for the back as Axebane was forced to reset.
Yeah, but that minion wave is crashing onto him, so that's going to be continuous CS loss as he is now 41 above.
Yeah, I mean, look, as a Darius main myself, when you got that kind of bleed going, you hit that last Q.
Sorry, I had to mention that. He got the cannon. He got the cannon, so...
Haven't used the W for it, but... Yeah, as a Darius main myself, I mean, when your target's that low and you got 5 stacks bleeding on him, you just refreshed it with that Q, usually you expect him to die, but, I mean, Volibear had potions ticking. Very tanky.
Ooh, we're going to see an early trade here. The Diana's just trying to clear out the vision to defend her pink ward, but the Nico should be able to. Yes, he does clear the pink ward, too, so they do clear a lot of the vision. There's so much vision now coming in from this mid right now too, as it's going to be the rooted up too. Nico's
that's a huge play.
Oh, but that's not going to be the kill. She's not... Inferno is not going to be going in for that flash ultimate because Integrate does have flash.
Yeah, I think if Apexium went in there with the ultimate, I think he could have secured the kill or at least forced out a flash, and I think that would have been a worthy trade. But Talia is pathing on this bottom side of the map though, as the bot lane's returning.
Right, the bot lane is not returning to Talia. What are you doing? You're a little bit mispositioned. Does use the wall, but
Oh, Tristana jumps in aggressively.
Oh, almost gets the kill too as the Leona ultimate doesn't miss. Danking
Wow.
They're playing the cleanse, but it was the flash that was used, not the cleanse, but they don't know that.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of that play that Talia went for. I mean, your win condition's top and mid, and I understand trying to go for a gank there on bottom side, but if you die there, you just accelerate luck of the draws win condition as Leona does with the E.
Swain is going to be using ultimate. Here comes the curtain calls here too, as the Tristana is going to be hit with the first, second. Is she going to be hit with the third here as the Swain does have to flash out too? Volibear does teleport into the fight too. Can he get the kill? The blue dragon is slain.
Ultimate gets used.
Oh, but the ultimate did get used, but the Talia flashes out too, and that should be that could be a kill for
Flash from Jin.
No, he can't get the auto off. He cannot, as the Diana can be flashing.
Diana goes in.
Kill of the team, and the Talia's low.
Flash E
killed by Matt Red, and that's gonna be the flash ultimate right now, and this could be a 3-for-0 right now. Nico is nearby, does get the stun, and that's gonna be the first kill. Oh, here comes the Nico ult as the Tristana is going to be using the cleanse here. Nico can survive, maybe? No, that's going to be the double kill.
Oh, no.
But you're giving up gold over to the Darius. Is that still worth?
No, that's absolutely not worth. That's 4 kills over to luck of the draw. Where you had the kill advantage, you no longer do. Now, the good news is Tristana didn't end up getting any of those kills, just assists, but Volibear got a double kill, and that's really bad for Darius, because while he does have a 60 CS lead right now, and that early kill, Volibear going down there getting a double is going to give him a lot of room to try to deny some of this pressure Darius is doing to him. Darius does end up, though, getting 4 plates.
And he still has a 1,500 gold lead, so even with the 2 kills, he's still behind. Oh, they're looking. They do get the pink war down.
Yeah, the important thing is if Volibear itemizes properly against Darius, he does have the plated steel caps. All he needs now is a bramble vest or a warden's mail. Just one of those 2 items will be very effective against Darius. But Darius does have the early stride breaker. I'm not the biggest fan of stride breaker honestly in this matchup. I would have liked to have seen him go for the Triforce build and try to be more of like a dueling side laning champion here.
Would you have liked to see the Gore Drinker as maybe come out as well too? Because we have seen how overpowered Gore Drinker is on a lot of these champions that do often go into the fights, as Darius does like going in with his Q to try to get all 5 members.
So while Gore Drinker sure is an option, so is Divine Sunderer. On Darius, there's really only 2 builds that are viable, and that's the Triforce build and the Stride Breaker build. Now with the Triforce build,
we're gonna have to interrupt
there's some fighting here going here.
Swain nearly gets a hook there, but Leona with the blue suede shoes just easily just dodges a lot of movement too. And this is going to be the dangerous thing too, because we kind of talked about the Tristana, although is the late game champion, Swain does kind of fall off a little bit in that late game scenario too. As we're going to see another pull does get onto the Jin, as the heal has to be used though very preemptively, and that's just for the movement speed. This Swain is just absolutely forcing a bot lane.
Are they going to try to dive this?
Maybe. Leona is a little bit on the tankier side though, so I wouldn't if I'm on the side of luck of the draw here too. So we could be seeing some roam down as Matt Red is nearby.
Oh, he hits the pull.
Too, yeah, but it's a level 10 and a level 9 too. Does get the Q off.
4 stacks.
Yeah, but
Volibear has to play back.
Yeah. Still down 1,500 CS, even with the Dorn Shield and the plated steel cap, he's still at 75% health. Like, he just can't win these trades here. That's going to be a stun from the Volibear, too. Darius is just going to be hitting the tower. That's going to be first tower, and the Ghost
Darius?
Wait. Oh, he's going in with the Skybreaker. He is going to be going in with the Q.
Oh, the Q didn't hit.
Oh, and that's going to be the flash stun onto the ball.
Okay, he's got the stacks.
That's the ult, and he just flashes out too. He should be able to get the kill. No, Matt Red does get the kill onto Axiom. It's going to be 5-4 in the kills now, and as Talia is kind of caught out of position. Good stun, as we're going to be seeing the Nico nearby too. Oh, that's a really good stun, but that's not going to be enough to kill the Diana too, as the Nico's going to be going down. No, he trades.
Gets the trade.
Triple kill for the Olaf.
Oh no, that's the worst case scenario.
But the trade kill, as that's going to be a kill maybe onto the Jin? No, as the Swain does get the pull, but no kill for the Jin. That could be bot lane tower. The tower is sitting at currently 1400 HP, 1452 to be exact. But do the kills going to the Olaf make it harder for the team to scale against this composition?
Well, absolutely. Olaf is a champion that you really don't want to get a lot of kills early because he will be able to snowball these team fights with just how damn strong he is and how hard he becomes to kill.
But he's never been known as a late game jungler or a late game champion. So what makes this a little bit different in this scenario where getting the kills onto the Olaf would be beneficial?
Well, here's the thing. That used to be true until Gore Drinker became an item. Gore Drinker allows Olaf scaling into late game to be quite, I wouldn't say good, but much better than it was. So Olaf, when fed, is still relevant even in the late game.
We're going to see another fight too as the Diana's going to be ultimate and Apexium just gets blown up. Integrate gets a nice
That should be the dragon.
That's dragon number 3 here too. Even with the Darius roaming down, Axebane just came down first though. Do they want to fight this?
I don't think they can. They don't have a jungler.
They will.
A ton of damage though from her. Nico.
Ooh, the Swain has to pop the ultimate and the flash too. That should be a root down.
Darius has no sums.
But Darius just gets out. Good blast code.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
He's kind out of position right now.
Yeah, I think if Darius had sums there, they would have gone for the kill.
Down, Deadly Flourish misses. So we see the Gale Force coming out from the Jhin as we get our first set of mythic items across the board. Tristana is going, interestingly enough, for the Kraken Slayer. Oh,
yeah, Kraken Slayer is a pretty good item.
I want to look at this, and the Darius will be going on to the Olaf too. Olaf does have to pop the Ragnarok too, but the Darius does get the heal too, does get the dunk down, but Dankim gets the kill onto Axiom too, as the Nico should be able to get the stun here, does get the shutdown here. Here comes the Pop Blossom. Not going to stun anybody, only but the Volibear too, as double kill goes over to Dankim too. A kill goes over to Axebane onto the Jhin too. Talia should be going down. Another kill over to Axebane as the resets are coming in. Here comes a Leona with the flash. Tristana should be able to
Diana.
Yeah, Diana does flash over too and should be getting the ace. A 5-for-1.
Wow, and what looked like a strong early game from Frankenbeans, they just misplay after misplay getting punished, and you can't do that against Luck of the Draw, and they've now taken the last several team fights, and they have taken a lot off of this. Very unfortunate to see from the side of Frankenbeans. Does
the game go different if they're playing against, say, an RDT, Lamar Jackson Fan Club, Mailboxes Angels? Is this a type of lead? Ooh, as we get a Stridebreaker pull, that misses, though, but he should be able to clear the way pretty effectively. But I want to go back to the point where we talked about the early game lead and the fact that, top lane did kind of snowball more efficiently. Does a better team have a better gold lead at this point? Or do you think a team like a Luck of the Draw would still have the same lead they have now against, say, a better team?
I think if this was, say, my team, MBBC, and I was the Darius, if I'm fed like that in the situation that we're in, I don't think those same mistakes would have happened in those fights. So I think that right now what you're seeing is Luck of the Draw. I mean, they're getting quite lucky because we're seeing, it just looks like not concise shot calling. If you look at a team like RDT, if they got that kind of lead early, they snowball off those kind of leads. MBBC, if you got, say myself, like I said, on the Darius, on my main, and you see us with a draft comp like this, with an early lead, we're another team that does snowball games early with leads. So, I would say they are quite fortunate that they're not going against one of those stronger early game teams.
Definitely, as the Rift does get popped on the top side, and the top lane tower will go down. It is now 2-1, as it's creeping slightly over a 3,000 gold lead here early into the game. But late game team fights could be in the favor of Frankenbeans still, because they do have a very strong burst late game. And we don't see the shield bow coming out from the Tristana, as we do get the Diana coming in with the ultimate too. That was a beautiful 3-man ultimate too, and that should be the kill off to the Talia. Dankim does get the first kill of the fight. Here comes the double kill. Here comes the resets too.
Dankim's going in.
Dankim does get shut down, dove a little too far, and here comes the curtain calls 1, and that's going to be 2. That's a shutdown over for Drown, as he's going to get a 4th shot off.
It's Swain. Darius is going in.
Yes, he will be going in too.
Darius messes up the dunk.
He does, and the Olaf is still alive though, but Jhin and Nico are still alive. Can they survive this? But the Olaf should be going down here too. No, he gets the kill! He misses the 4th shot because it's on a reload, and he is able to escape. Wow, a beautiful 3-man ultimate just followed by back and forth fighting goes in favor of Luck of the Draw, as the dragon will be spawning in 50 seconds.
Wow, and I would like to note out that Darius ended up messing up the dunk. I believe he just ER'd, or he didn't quite properly auto WR to get the kill, which would have gave him a reset. It would have gave him Noxian Might, and he could have actually popped off right there and cleaned it up if he timed that properly. But unfortunately, ends up dropping and going down there and looks kind of troll, and ends up swinging it right back in the favor of Luck of the Draw when he was chasing him down. It's a 3,000 gold lead in their favor right now.
But you got two, and now you have 2 items now on Tristana, as that's going to be the root on the Nico. Oh, Dankin wanted to go in so bad, but the Leona is nearby too. 2 items across the board. Yeah, Dankin could have, but the Leona is being caught out too. Definitely too, as we're going to see the ultimate come out. The Swain does miss the hook though, as that's going to be the ultimate coming down from the Swain, as he should be dead. JT is going to be dead here too, but the Darius is just chasing. Tristana is down too. Just shut down onto Dankim, and that's going to go on to Axiom, as they are now having Dragon Control.
Nico might get caught.
Yes, but the stopwatch does come down too, as here comes the Pop Blossom too, and that's going to be a nice kill. That's going to be the Deadly Flourish, but followed by the Leonis on another shutdown for the Darius.
Huge shutdown for Darius.
But Diana is splitting on the top side, but the Darius will be going back too. Right now, they do have jungle, but the wall is going to be popping off too. Matt Red does have flash. Is he going to go aggressive for it too? He stole it! He stole the dragon, and that's going to be Ocean Soul. Oh, that's so tilting.
What a smite for him, Matt Red.
Oh, Matt Red is going to be getting the first kill as the...
Matt Red!
Oh,
what are you doing?
God.
Get out of there!
Derek's Gage will be popped too, but that's going to be
a kill. He's going in!
Yes, but he's going to be dead over to the shutdown by the Jhin. That is 3 shutdowns he's gotten in the last 2 team fights alone. You get the Dragon Soul, but... Oh, but here comes a Nico, and the Nico's going to be dead. No! No, he's going to die!
Nico's going to die to bomb!
First kill on this trade too. But Dankim, can he
do it?
No, he doesn't. No, Dankim does, and he's going to get the double kill.
Wow! Wow, so much has happened in the last, 2 minutes of this game.
I am so... The gold lead was 5,000. Look at the gold lead now. It is barely above 2,000.
So much. Now, even though Luck of the Draw did get the Ocean Soul, which, by the way, is a huge soul for champions like Olaf, champions like Volibear that like to stay in extended fights, even the Swain, you saw a lot of shutdowns go over to the side of Frankenbeans. We saw Darius get several kills there. He's now got a 250 gold bounty, and he's going to be a huge threat in these fights.
Did complete the Derek's Gage and is going for, I believe, the Dead Man's Plate with the Wing Moon Plate and the Chain Vest popping right now, too. Axebane still only at 1.5 items right now. Is working on that Thornmail, but he doesn't have that item yet.
Oh, is Volibear going to get caught out?
No, Volibear should be able to get out fine here, too. So I definitely want to see, too, as the Diana does get rooted, too. Oh, my God. That's already half the HP, too. Even with the Ocean Soul, you can't recover that quickly because you have no sustain. You do have 2 items on the Diana, 2 items with the Zanya's Hourglass coming out, too, as they are posturing. We're going to see a 30-minute Elder Dragon, most likely.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how they end up setting up for these next fights. I mean, I think this next fight's going to decide the rest of the outcome of the game. If Frankenbeans can take this, they can come back and they can still win this game. But if Luck of the Draw takes this next team fight, I think they're going to be able to close this thing out and just build too much of a lead for Frankenbeans to come back from.
Definitely, they do have a nice amount of CC, as a Swain pull does get the Apexium on the Talia, and they do get the Yan guy, but should be fine there. You're almost at 2 items for Jhin, and he's almost coming online. He does have the collector nearby for gold money, and right now he does have 8 stacks on the Dark Harvest. As
the Darius on the Darius.
Oh,
Darius
that's all
the
it's
very low.
Coming down, and that's gonna be why are you going in on the ultimate too? And that's Matt Red just popping to Ragnarok too, and that's gonna be an early fight. Here comes Axebane, is gonna get the first kill of this team fight.
Volibear's going in,
and that's gonna be 2 kills. Here comes the Pop Blossom. Oh, that's good damage.
A lot of damage on Trist.
Oh, that's gonna be a double kill for the Dane.
That's an ace.
Yes, a 5 for 0. 6K
that's an
gold,
ace, and that should be Baron.
Yeah. 25-minute Baron
wow.
here. And that was just a poorly executed fight from Frankenbeans. After the Darius got caught out, they were just focusing on the Olaf, who couldn't just Ragnarok out.
Yeah, Darius very aggressive, going for that Stride Breaker E after getting dropped to half HP. I would have liked to see him Stride Breaker away and just look for a reset. They didn't have to force that fight, but they went for it anyway, and they got punished.
8K gold lead now in the favor as the tier 2 turret does fall down too. You have an A2-way Dankum on the Tristana, and we know how Tristana is in the late game. We are possibly going to see the IE being completed once the red buff is stolen, as the blue buff is stolen by the Diana here. Oh, is Dank? No, Dankum's not trying to be an assassin here.
Wow, this is a very unfortunate situation now for Pexium. I mean, he's sitting 1-6 right now, not having the best game, and just getting all of his buffs stolen from Luck of the Draw, doing a good job of denying resources. So,
Definitely.
I mean, he's just going to keep going farther and farther behind. Olaf already has a 2-level lead right now in the jungle.
3 items. Does have the Spear Forsage along with the Gore Drinker and as the Swain's going to get the catch out with the Sterix gauge on the Olaf like we were referring to.
I think that's a little bit of a itemization from Matt Red. Kind of rare to see him do that. I do understand that he does have that Spear Visage, but I think going for something like a Death's Dance would have been a lot better. It has so much synergy with Gore Drinker. You get the kill, it gives you a burst of movement speed, a burst of healing, and resets the bleed that would be on you from it. Oh, thank you, though.
It's a solo kill. That is just... That's a fetch Tristana. 9-2 and 8 with a 40 CS lead. The goal difference between both carries right now is 3,200.
Carries could kill Volibear here.
Oh, he can. Look at the damage that's being brought back. Volibear's not taking any damage.
Wow, the Ocean Soul is just so strong with Baron buff. I take back what I said. This Volibear is just so strong.
God. And here comes Dankum just being able to hop in. Darius does get the
moment. My goodness.
The second kill of that long extended fight. And now they're down for 40 seconds. Drought will be coming back up as a Diana is being traded on the bot side. Here comes Dankum and Matt Red as they're going to be hopping in, hip-hopping in as the Tristana says King Me Gale forces into it. That's going to be the kill over to Matt Red. 9 kills now for the Olaf, 11 for Dankum, and they're going to be possibly ending the game here. That's going to be GG called out. You can't defend that. That's game.
Yeah, wow. Aggressive flash from the Olaf to secure the ending kill.
Yeah, but that's going to be
Dankum wanting to get another kill here. Doesn't end up getting it before the end, though.
30 to 15, a 12K gold lead as Luck of the Draw takes a huge win against Frankenbeans.
And that's exactly what they need. They need a convincing win like that after coming off of a loss last week to On the Spot. You know, it was a heartbreaking loss. It was a late game that they went through, and you know, just coming up short, being able to bounce back today and getting that win against Frankenbeans. Now, despite the fact that Frankenbeans is lower in the standings, you still, I mean, it's got to feel good coming in with a win like that.
Definitely, too, as we're going to be bringing in the captain of the winning team here. Congratulations. Oh, a little bit odd to here. Fred, welcome to the chat. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, my guy. Thank you.
Going into this game, you guys move up a little bit more in the playoff rankings heading into the last 2 weeks. What are you guys feeling at this point of the season with all the momentum you guys have?
You know, honestly, it just feels really good to get a win this week. You know, last 2 weeks have been pretty rough for us, but yeah, the playoff seeding definitely helps. Hopefully we could get the top seed. You know, that'd be real nice. But yeah, no complaints here.
Oh yeah, because we definitely know that you guys are currently tied for second with Mailboxes Angels as they face RDT next week. So, well, but talk about a little bit about the game too. You guys kind of fell behind a little bit early. What were the comms like when Darius did take first tower? Were you guys still focused on carrying through Dankum and through jungle, or what was like the initial idea?
Yeah, hey, honestly, when the three of us got solo, all three of our top side got solo killed, it was looking kind of rough. But you know, we just put our faith and trust in the bot lane, and they ended up pulling through. Yeah, and after he got the first turret, I don't think we were too concerned because we made a big play bot. So yeah, I think we were all good after that.
Complex, any questions?
Yeah, so going into this game, you guys did come off of a rough loss last week. What was the game plan going into this? Did you guys like have a specific set plan? Like you guys wanted to try to, win early and win fast, or were you guys just trying to come through and bounce back and just look dominant again?
I mean, to be honest, we were trying to play topside, but after that shit went real south, we were just like, we were just kind of just looking for scraps. And yeah, we kind of like, we always trying to scrap, and then we found a good fight in the bot lane, and then we took it.
Definitely. And and a little bit of a teaser. Do you have any favorite teams you would like to see lose next week? Or this
lose next? I don't hope that anybody loses, man. I'm a supporter
Somebody's
of all
gotta
the teams.
lose. Somebody's got to lose, Fred.
That's true. Somebody's got to lose, but I hope everybody can win.
Definitely, too. I believe you still have 2 more games, and you guys are facing. I want to say you guys are facing.
Oh, actually, I think we're facing Lamar Jackson fan club. So I hope Lamar Jackson fan club loses because I want to win.
Definitely, that's going to be a very spicy game. So thank you, Fred, for the interview. And,
awesome, thanks, guys.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in the captain, unfortunately, of the losing team, which would be Axiom. Axiom, welcome.
Hello.
Tough loss that you guys went through. You guys did have early solo kills across the board. So, what just talk to me through the comms. Like, what happened from the first 6, 5-10 minutes of the game to, after that? Because it kind of looks like you guys had a nice early lead. You guys had the potential for a huge upset, but it just kind of fell apart mid game. What happened?
Yeah, the game was going kind of smooth. We had low bot prio, which led to, I was looking at the post game read, we were ahead in gold until around 15 minutes, and during that time, the 2 drags were taken by the enemy team, which is tough. I mean, they ended up getting all 4 drags pretty quickly, but we had decent picks here and there. But then when the team fighting started coming around, our team fights were really uncoordinated, and others were much more coordinated, and that's kind of been a reoccurring theme.
Definitely. And I believe with this loss, unfortunately, I'm looking at the standings mathematically speaking, and it looks like you guys are
out of the playoffs.
Out of the playoffs. So,
well, was there
a little bit
previous game?
You guys were able to possibly, if with the upset win, but are you guys going to be a little bit more lax coming with the last 2 games of the season, knowing that you guys could possibly play Spoilmakers?
We've been pretty lax the whole season, so we'll probably just going into our same thing.
Gotcha. So no like spicy picks, like no Rammus bot or something. I don't know.
I won't promise you that it won't happen. So it'll be the big AVG mystery. I'll keep everybody on the edge of their seat.
Alrighty. Complex, any questions?
Yeah, so I appreciate you locking in that Darius pick, especially getting that early kill on Volibear. So tell me, when Volibear went for that TP play bot lane, you ended up taking a lot of turret plates in the top side. Were you at all concerned about him coming back to lane and maybe being able to now actually fight you and play aggressive on you?
No, not really. I was more concerned that the bottom half of the map I was getting out-traded in terms of just dragon pressure, and just out-traded in terms of map pressure. So I was concerned that the bot lane was going to get more ahead, and we were going to be less likely to take future dragons after that play. Because I probably outmatched him in gold. I don't know exactly, but it was definitely close gold-wise. I took, I think, 3 plates.
Yeah, and one more question. So on Darius, you decided to go for the Stride Breaker build. Was there any possibility at all of maybe going for the Triforce and going for more of a split push, dueling oriented Darius build, or were you just focused on playing for the team fights?
No, I think Triforce on Darius is pretty bad, and the stats actually show this in terms of his win rate differential between the 2 items. Triforce doesn't provide it's you're less tanky. It has less AD. It has, and if you lose the movement speed, which is so dire on Darius, and plus this game I didn't take Nimbus Cloak Celerity, because there is so much extra movement speed options in the game, or to at least options to help out on immobile champions. So I opted for a bone plating and unflinching. So I definitely needed that stride breaker.
Gotcha. I do understand. The Triforce build, though, is a viable build and it is strong, but it is a specific set build of Triforce with Deadmans and then looking at going for a Sanguine Blade. You only kind of go for it when you have a strong lead over your lane opponent and you don't win team fights because it gives you immense pressure in side lanes. You take towers very fast and you're very difficult to actually fight 1v1 or even 1v2. But yeah, it's one of those niche builds that not a lot of players do, but it does have good results in solo queue and in some competitive play. I have seen Triforce get used before, but yeah, unfortunate loss today. Is there anything that you guys think you could have done differently after getting those first 3 kills? Anything you would have liked to have seen to, maybe change the results or give you guys more of a snowball?
Probably have your drags are just again so important, and I think have your pressure bot. I think the fight that took place around where top lane first turret is, I think that could have swung heavily in our favor if I did a few things differently, and if I just came at it differently. And I think it came down to some really bad fights, and then the fight where Olaf was caught out in Rift Herald pit, clearing vision. I think that fight could have gone a lot differently as well.
Gotcha. So just a couple micro mistakes that could have made big impacts.
Yeah. When you consistently keep doing them, it's pretty detrimental.
Yeah, understandable. Alrighty. Well, thank you very much for the game. It's been a blast watching you guys play this season and whatnot. And unfortunate that we won't be seeing you guys in playoffs, but we do got 2 more weeks to see what you guys can bring to the table.
Yeah, we'll see what we can muster.
That was a nice interview. I had to take a quick break. La Madre called me on the phone, just to check how I'm doing. Pog Mom, apparently. Pog Mom. But as we're wrapping this up, LOTD, luck of the draw, moves up to 5-2. Frankenbeans does fall to 1-6 and is out of playoffs. But these next 2 weeks, with all, I think, 7 teams, we could be seeing the spiciest finale we ever have, in AVG. We could be seeing a very spicy 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree. I think that coming down to these last 2 weeks, it's really going to come down to, who can win out. I think RDT just needs one more win to secure first place. I believe that is actually their last game of the regular season, since I believe they are a game ahead of most of the teams right now. And if they do end up taking a loss in their last week, it could be very interesting to see who ends up taking the crown of first seed heading into playoffs. I know MBBC, if they win out, they will only be able to take, I believe, second at best due to the fact they did lose to RDT in the head-to-head. But luck of the draw, if they win out, they can take first seed from RDT, since they do have that win in the head-to-head. So, I mean, it's just going to come down to what ends up happening. Seems like Mailbox is, fighting for that spot too, with their head-to-head loss to MBBC. So, I mean, it's just a lot of the top teams have taken games off each other, and it's going to be real interesting to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, definitely. As we're going to be wrapping up here on Twitch TV as we finish off our Sunday night with the fun little game here in week 7, as we're going to be rolling into week 8. Catch us on our next stream because we got some very interesting games coming up as we wrap it up too. We got some really strong games actually coming in this week too. The big one, I think, is going to be Mailboxes Angels versus Rubber Ducky team, as we just talked about. But we got a Lamar Jackson fan club versus, I believe they face off against Luck of the Draw. So that's going to be another fun game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely. And we'll catch you on the next time. Don't forget to follow the stream for Avid Gaming Esports. I am Nikolai, along with Complex, and we wish you a good night.